understand that you have a young son called Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam is how old?
19.
19. So I also understand that he was recently diagnosed with Ring 20.
Yes, he was put into hospital in February, had a 3-day stay where they videoed him. It was basically to the point where the doctor didn't know what to do with him. He was uncontrollable with drugs, etc., etc. So it was a last resort into hospital. When the data was analysed and they could see what he was doing in his sleep and things like that, the doctor has finally gone, I wonder if it is. And he got the blood test for the Ring 20, and on the 30th of May we found out that yes, it was Ring 20, so it's only been 8 or 9 weeks since diagnosis.
So that's fairly recent, isn't it? And so what made you come thousands of miles to be with us here today?
Well, I found you through Facebook and then found out that they were having the conference here, and I want to learn as much as I can basically, so I'm looking at it as a fact-finding mission, wanting to know how other parents are coping, what their kids are going through, and all that kind of thing, as much as I can do to help my son.
So one of the things that you've noticed, we've had lots of talks here today, is that we've heard from geneticists, we've heard from pediatric neurologists, we've heard from psychologists as well. But what's your take home from what you've learned so far?
Hard question. That it's obviously fairly rare, which I knew to begin with. That there is research being done, but there needs to be a lot more done. The world needs to know more about it. Everybody knows about cancer and leukemia and all these other things that can go wrong with us, but this is something that's just kind of unknown. So getting the word out is what would be good.
So awareness.
Awareness, yes.
Okay. So now also one of the things we talked about was, it can be very complex, can't it?
Yes.
So we're talking about lots of things to do with genetics and things to do with the brain and cells. So how have you found that?
Complicated, to be honest, considering I don't know much about any of that to begin with. So bringing it back to basics for the newbies that have just recently found out.
So what sort of things would you look to, do you want to learn about, or are you interested in right now?
Put me on the spot, why don't you?
What's most important to you and your family from a practical perspective?
Is there ever going to be a cure, or not a cure, but something that can help with seizures? Because none of it seems to be working. We're never going to be seizure-free at this stage, so that's what I'm hoping for eventually. So
it's about cure, it's about preventing seizures, but in terms of long term, so Adam is 19, so what did you make of hearing from young people who have been living with Ring 20, and what have you made of the young people that you've heard from today?
I think Adam isn't affected anywhere near as much as some of the young kids that I've seen here today. I mean, it was interesting last night when we got the meet and greet. You look at these kids and go, that looks so familiar. I know exactly what that child's going through and what that parent is going through. There's a lot worse out there than what Adam's going through.
So perspective and sharing those experiences, really valuable?
Absolutely. Absolutely, which is one of the reasons why I used to meet other people that have got like children and seeing what their kids are going through and how the parents are coping with it as well.
So Support. And so in terms of our charity support, how important is it?
Very important. Very important, because living in Australia, as far as I know, there's only 4 of us down there, and I'm only speaking to one other mum, so we're a bit lost. So having someone at the end of a keyboard that can, even if it's just support, not medically, but someone that you can rattle a question off to, that means a lot.
So that's wonderful to hear from you, Deb, and thank you so much for joining us from so far away. We're so grateful that you were able to share some of the experiences that you've found.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.